So there's actually a ton of new layer 1 blockchains that have really great technology that I think will outdo a lot of the current layer 1s in the next bull run. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at 3 of the most promising ones. What's going on, guys? Astro with Hidden Profits Crypto. Now, these projects are very early, some of them more than others, but they also have low market caps, which gives the potential for a ton of gains. Now, of course, this video is not financial advice. Any of these that I show to you does not mean that you should just go run out and buy it. Make sure to do your own research and check into the tech on your own. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first layer 1 we're going to take a look at is Kaspa. Now, Kaspa is probably one of the most decentralized layer 1s that I've seen, apart from Bitcoin, and it really is kind of following in Bitcoin's footsteps. The founders, Yonatan Zablinski and Aviv Zohar, pretty much spun the network up and kind of handed it into the hands of the community, which is where it is right now. All of the developers and people that run the Discord and Telegrams are all community members. All the funding and anything for wallets and exchange listings, things like that, are all funded by the community. So, you know, it's really a community effort, and that's why I really enjoy it. On top of that, it really has a ton of potential in the tech. Now, it uses something instead of a blockchain called a block DAG, which is basically the idea of a blockchain kind of mixed with a block DAG data structure. Now, it uses these two together and then uses the Ghost DAG protocol to actually order the transactions in the right order. Now, this blockchain is very fast, and that is one of the really awesome things about it. If you're just simply sending transaction, it goes very quick. One thing that a lot of people have griped about this project is that it doesn't currently have smart contracts, but they are working on implementing them, and that will be something that will come in the future. On top of that, they are currently rewriting the project in Rust, and this will enable higher blocks per second. Currently, it's doing 1 block per second, but after the Rust rewrite, it should be able to do at least 32 blocks per second. Now, I've seen that it's currently doing somewhere between 200 to 400 transactions per second, but as the project moves forward and the Rust rewrite comes through, we will see what the full potential of Kaspa will really be. Currently, the market cap is pretty low at about $28 million, but I easily see this one at $100 million market cap and plus that. So there's a ton of room for gains on this one, in my opinion. If you guys are more interested in this project, I do have a full breakdown video that I will go ahead and throw up here at the top, and that kind of goes into Kaspa. I also have some tutorials on how to use the wallet and how to buy the coin and a few other things. And then I also have a video that kind of shows the difference and breaks it down between blockchains and block DAGs to help understand the technology a little bit more. So our next layer 1 is Kadena. Now, this one is probably one of my favorites in the entire crypto space, and there's a strong reason for that. We're going to go ahead and start with the team, as they do have a pretty stacked roster. So Stuart Popejoy actually led the team at JP Morgan, working with their blockchain group, and he has a ton more of experience, 15 plus years. He also worked with Will Martino, that was the lead engineer for Juno over at JP Morgan, and he also worked for the SEC. Then we have the advisor Stuart Haber, and he is actually one of the co-inventors of blockchain itself, which is actually wild when you really think about it. And he's also one of the most cited people in the Bitcoin white paper. So now that you know the team, what does the blockchain do? Well, it's a proof of work blockchain, just like Kaspa, but instead of just using one singular chain like most blockchains, it actually has 20 blockchains currently and can have more. These 20 chains are braided together to create something called the chain web. Now, this allows for a high amount of transactions per second and high scalability, as they can shard the blockchain into even more chains whenever needed. This keeps the gas fees extremely low, as they currently are. They also have a smart contract programming language that was built by Stuart Popejoy, and that is called Pact. Now, one of the special things about Pact is that it's actually Turing incomplete, which means that there's only a certain amount of things that can be done if it's in like the rules, whereas something like Solidity, which is Turing complete, basically anything that you can code in the code, if it can be ran, it will be ran. So Pact kind of gets rid of loops and a lot of bugs and exploits that could happen by using something called formal verification, and this is actually checking the code as you're writing it. There's a lot of other things like the NFT standard Marmalade and a ton of other things that I could go into, but like I said, I have a whole playlist on Kadena you guys can go check out if you're more interested in it. Let's go ahead and move on. So our last and final layer 1 blockchain for today is going to be Alephium. Okay, so while editing this, I realized I completely butchered the name. It's not Alephium, it's Alephium. So just wanted to set the record straight for that. Now, Alephium is very low key. I don't think a lot of people know about it, and it is an extremely small market cap as it's under 2 million. Now, you might be saying this is way too low of a market cap and it's way too risky, and you would be right. It is very risky and this low of a market cap, but it's only currently on one exchange, and that is Gate.io. So I really think that could be the issue why there's not a larger market cap and more people buying it. I personally would buy it, but I'm not going on Gate.io. So, you know, once they get on a different exchange, I might look into it a little bit more. But let's go ahead into the tech on Alephium. So Alephium uses a novel sharding algorithm called the block flow, which they created, and that's also used with a DAG data structure, and this really allows for a high amount of scalability. Now, they actually tested out what the TPS is, and they said that at a max it was about 10,000, but I think it's currently at about 400 TPS. Now, it does use proof of work, but it also has something special, and that is called proof of less work. Now, once this network gets to a certain hash rate, this proof of less work will actually kick in, and this will be adjusting the amount of work needed to mine the blocks, and this will be using less energy. Obviously, proof of work is always constantly getting dragged down because it uses so much energy, and proof of stake is so great, which in my opinion, and the exact reason why all three of these layer ones are all proof of work, in my opinion, is the superior consensus mechanism. Now, for the people that are worried about its energy usage, this might be a blockchain that might be interesting to you. Now, it also has its own custom virtual machine for dApps, similar to Ethereum, and that is called Alfred. Now, this is used also with a smart contract language that is custom called Ralph, and that is a kind of a adjustment of the Rust programming language. Now, because it's such a low market cap, because it's not on very many exchanges, and because it's still a very unknown layer one, this one obviously I would move with caution when getting involved with it until we see a little bit more, I guess, history behind the project where we can verify that things are really working like they're supposed to. But if you guys would like a more in-depth look at this project, I will make sure to make a video on it if you guys are interested. So leave a comment down below if you'd like me to check out and really take a deep dive into Alephium. So that's gonna wrap up today's video on these layer ones. I really hope this video brought you some good value and brought you some interest into these. If any of these piqued your interest, I'd really like to know which ones you're more excited in, so go ahead and drop a comment and let me know. But if you guys enjoyed the video and did find some value in it, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for content very similar to this, and also make sure to follow me at hidden_crypto on Twitter if you want to follow me even more in depth. All my other links will be in the Linktree link down in the description, but it's going to be it for me here today. I'll see you guys next time, and until then, peace.